There are so many uterus-owning readers. Why we are not talking because more hopefully tomorrow is my last day of reading. 5 is plenty. I think this is the perfect beginning of the month read. Just distract myself from the pain of existing as a woman. Okay, so I had this idea for this video because, tell me why, I wanted to do a what I read in a week / mood reading video, but I was like, hey, what would that be like to do in my moodiest time of the month, if you catch my drift? So I was like, well, why don't I film what I read in the first 5 days of my cycle and see what happens. Yeah, it went about as unhinged as you can imagine. I'm actually recording this post because I in fact did not have brain power to do an introduction. We're just going to be mood reading because that is all I have the brain capacity to do. And yeah, I kind of just read for as long as my cycle goes with that information in mind. Let's get into what I read in a typical week at the beginning of my cycle, because yes, it is different at different times of the month. And I stand by that. So yeah, let's get into it. Truly don't know what is happening with this outfit. Honestly, it's giving lumberjack. It was not on purpose. I was wearing this because it's kind of Christmassy and we're in that season, and then it was cold, so this went on and alas, here we are. But anyway, last night with Fairydale, I ended up reading 3% of this. I have been listening to the audiobook because I have ordered the physical copy, and so we were waiting, so I couldn't continue to read that when I went to bed, so I read that while I was getting some Christmas decorations kind of ready, and then I swapped gears to Carl's Doomsday scenario, which is Dungeon Crawler Carl book 2. Which honestly, this book is so left field for me. I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. It's like partly I sit there and I'm like, what is happening? And then the other part I'm like, I'm having such a fun, just giggly time. Like, it's just such a weird book. Anyway, those are the two books that I got on the go right now. I will just say, if you are new here, this is kind of how I read. I am just one of those readers, and I know not everyone loves that, but it's just how my brain works. I like to swap between books. Always have, always will. I'm a Rory Gilmore. I'm rewatching Gilmore Girls right now, and she like packs like 5 different books for every situation. I have never felt so seen in my life. So today, I don't know what I'm gonna do. It's 9:45. What am I gonna do? You know what? So it is such a beautiful day. I have to go like sit in the sun and go walk in the sun. Like this time of year, the sun it doesn't exist in the part of the world where I am in the UK. And so I'm just going to try and soak up the sun as much as I can in between doing all of my activities and things I need to get done. So I think I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of reading right now. I'm just going to go sit in the sun outside, honestly, read this bad boy, and then might help if I hold it the right way. But yeah, let's get into Dungeon Crawler Carl. What you doing? If you've never read Dungeon Crawler Carl, I actually read this for a 24-hour readathon at the very, very beginning of the year. Actually, potentially my only, I don't know if I've done another one since then, to be honest. Anyway, I read it during that video if you want to check it out. But we essentially start off with this guy, Carl, who is kind of just like been broken up with. He is like looking after his ex-girlfriend's cat called Princess Donut. And anyway, the cat escapes out the window and he has to like go and rescue it from the tree in the middle of the night. And he's wearing his boxers because he was about to go to bed. And basically every building like flattens, and like all these like portals to the through the earth open up, and it's essentially aliens have taken over the earth and have said, if you want a chance to like win back Earth's resources, you may compete in the dungeon, which is like multiple levels of gaming hell essentially. And because he lives in this very snowy, wintry region, he's like, well, I'll take my chances underneath because I'm currently in boxes. And yeah, honestly, it's just like, there's really not too much to it other than that. You're just like, you enter this game. Reading this as someone who isn't a gamer, it's really interesting because I feel like there's a lot that is lost on me, but it's also just like a fun time, and Matt Dinnaman is a true genius. I don't know, I haven't really read anything else in this genre, but he does it very well. And what I love the most about this is he has done so well that he has gotten a publishing deal for his physical books, but he still indie pubs his ebooks, which I just think like, how cool that he has that sovereignty over publishing, that he just truly gets to publish what he wants to publish, which I think is really special, I think, and is just such a nice thing to see from an indie pubbed author, to be able to like hold on to that. So anyway, it's going well. We have like such a strange cast of characters, and we have Princess Donut, who when she enters the dungeon can speak, so we can hear everything she says, so it's a really fun time. So anyway, there's really not much to it other than that, but yeah, we're here for vibes. This is definitely up my alley for vibes, for just like mindless reading, not having to think too hard. Yeah, I think this is the perfect beginning of the month read. Gonna take mental note of that. Alright guys, so I'm gonna leave it there on Dungeon Crawler Carl. I got 35 pages in. I'm having such a good time. Honestly, so much fun. We're just like slowly vibing today. No fast reading is happening, and that's totally fine. So I now need to get in some work and some live admin. Some of that I can listen to an audiobook, some of that I can't. So I might just be like in and out of listening to an audiobook for the rest of the day. So yeah, we'll probably continue to listen to Fairydale for a big portion of the day. If you know nothing, it's a gothic romance. I want to say it's a gothic romance. We're not at the romance yet, but we are following this chick, our FMC, who is an orphan and whose father, like, she never really knew, but she got randomly one day just got a message being like, your dad's dead and he's left you in the will, but you have to come to this town called Fairydale to collect your inheritance. Look, I'm having a great time, and it's just giving the perfect vibes. We're gonna get into that and kind of continue listening for the rest of the day. Let's go. So I am currently still making my way through Fairydale, and I'm currently just doing some like Christmas decorating stuff for the Christmas time that is upon us. Our FMC is now in Fairydale, and she's gone to the reading of the will, and drama has ensued. I am so confused by what is happening, and I know that the author made a note to be like, by the way, you will be confused. It's on purpose. I'm so confused. And I genuinely feel like I'm missing things, and I'm like, oh God, am I gonna have to read this 1,000-page book twice? Like, oh no. So that's not ideal. It's not what we want, really, but that's okay. Yeah, we're gonna go through here. I feel very gaslit, which if you've read this book, you'll get the vibes. But yeah, I feel very gaslit, which is such a skill as a writer, I think, to make to write an unreliable narrator well. What a skill. I tried not to do quite a bit of reading or listening today. Just had like a lot of like hands-based fiddly thing. I had like books and flights, and now I'm doing Christmas decorations. So it's really nice to just be able to put on an audiobook and just distract myself from the pain of existing as a woman. Alrighty, I'm rambling. I'm gonna take Miss Maya for a walk soon, who is sleeping. She's doing what I should be doing right now, actually. If you see here, little Miss Schnoozalot. So cute. I love you. This book is odd. I'm having a great time. My only qualm, honestly, so far is what is happening with this Caleb guy. So he is like he's giving MMC energy, but he's also giving like creepy dude energy. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah, it's a little weird. Yeah. Hello, day 2. This morning I kicked off with going to the sauna and reading, and then it's just been a bit of life admin today, so I haven't had a chance to jump on. But yeah, I've been listening to my audiobook for a big portion of today, which was kind of unplanned, but happy about it. Listening to audiobooks is significantly slower if you are a medium-paced reader. But it is just a nice way to pass the time, not gonna lie. So I'm kind of like clocking about 100 pages, but these are like obviously more relaxed days because I am on my period and I don't really feel like doing anything. So yeah, that's pretty normal. That's today. I'm about to take Maya for a walk. And then probably only will just read before bed, honestly. I got some other work I need to do this afternoon, so that's pretty much gonna be my reading day. Alright, so today is a very exciting day. I have spent the morning decorating my Christmas shelves for a upcoming vlog, yes, I may or may not be attempting to participate in Bookmas. Wish me luck. But because of that, I had a bit of time, and so I listened to Fairydale again. We're up to 38% now, so only like 5%. But I am going to take my dog for a walk now, so I might squeeze in a little bit more listening to that. But honestly, I won't get anything else done today because, very exciting, we're going to go see Wicked. And not only are we going to see Wicked for good, but we got the double bill ticket, or the double bill, which is like we're gonna see back-to-back movies. I'm so excited. I loved Wicked, so seeing them both together, that's gonna be pretty much me for the day. Walk, maybe read an audiobook, and then other than that, probably nothing, because I think it finishes at midnight. So anyway, that's my check-in for today. Okay guys, hello. So it's been a day, gosh. Okay, Wicked last night, I don't think I took any videos, maybe one, but I did in fact wake up at like 10 a.m. or I just was lounging in bed, and it was just a very, very slow morning. And then I did read this morning. We continued with Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's going well. I think I'm up to 189. That's only a 350 page book, so I think I'm about halfway on that bad boy now. And then I went to start listening to Fairydale. I think I'm gonna pause on Fairydale, honestly. Basically, this book is kind of slipping between two different perspectives, if you will. I don't want to say too much more than that, but because of that, I think listening in the audiobook, the narration is quite similar. It's just duet narrated, and so the same narrator is doing both. And so I'm finding it challenging listening, trying to figure out what the difference is, and I'm getting a little lost. So I think I need to read so I can stay on task. I think there is a deep dive into Gothic literature in my future. I very much think it is a niche that I will enjoy more if I understand its origins, if that makes sense. But that said, I am a little perturbed, if you will, by our MMC. I don't want to spoil anything because we are quite deep, so anything I say will be a spoiler, but we have some iffy behavior that I don't understand. So I'm feeling a little weird about that. Anyway, I'm not ready to give up on it, and I don't think I'm going to rule it out. I'm in a weird portion of the book. Let's just say that. And then Dungeon Crawler Carl's Doomsday scenario is technically what it's called. How I've been reading it this week has genuinely been perfect. So I read it a little bit at night, but when I've been mostly reading it is like before dinner for like an hour or 45 minutes, or first thing in the morning, like after we've had coffee. Like my partner and I like to have coffee in the morning to get into the storyline, to get into the characters, to like go on your little quests and like actually make some momentum in the game. You need some more time. Anyway guys, I think I am actually going to get cozy and do just that. I'm going to sit down with Carl and Donut, and we're just gonna have a good time on the couch reading for a little while before dinner is served, because yes, my partner does the God's work when I'm on the first few days of my cycle and cooks for me. We are forever grateful for that. We're gonna get cozy, and then yeah, I'm probably just gonna read for the rest of the night, and then I think tomorrow hopefully is gonna be my last day, because in fact we are on, what day are we on? Yeah, I'm on day 4 of my cycle. So tomorrow should be the last day. And so, yeah, I hope that is true, because 5 is plenty. Plenty. All right, let's go get cozy. We're up to 191. We might get up to 200 by tonight, so let's keep going. Good morning. So this morning I went to the sauna, which is why my hair is not playing ball one little bit, but that's okay. We did go to the sauna. I read a little bit more of Carl's Doomsday scenario. We're getting pretty close. I'm 70% of the way through now. And page 251. It's just been a slow slog this week, I feel like, with my reading. But that's fine. So I'm going to be putting pause on the reading for today because I'm going to dive into some editing. And then, yeah, I don't even know really what the rest of the day will hold. Maybe a little bit of reading tonight. We will see. That officially brings us to the end of this reading challenge. That is 5 days of reading at the beginning of the month. What a weird week of reading, truthfully. I feel like this was a pretty accurate depiction of what I would typically read at the beginning of my cycle. This is pretty normal, so that's good to know. The reading stats are in. So I have done some calculating of my Fairydale listening hours, and that roughly equated to be 223 pages. And I also wrapped 264 pages of the second book of Don't Call It Carl, which I can never remember the name of, Carl's Doomsday scenario. So all in all, that brings us to 487 pages, just shy of 500 for the week, or for the 5 days rather. Which I feel like is pretty normal reading pace for me. I definitely feel like I read slower during the times that I was reading, which was interesting to like note, which kind of I feel like makes sense. So my actual reading pace was much slower, and I feel like I spent more time reading, but like the information getting in was a little slow on the uptake, shall we say. But overall, I feel like this was a really good reading week. Honestly, books during this time are truly a lifeline for me. I apologize for my brain kind of goes offline during this time. So the fact that we were able to form sentences was impressive to me. So, thank you for bearing through that. I would love to know if you are a similar uterus owner. I would love to know what you read or what you gravitate toward at this time, what your favorite go-tos are, like genres or like type of books, or like if, I don't know, there's like something very specific that you do. And yeah, if you read more or less, like I just find this very fascinating, and I feel like there are so many uterus owning readers. Why we are not talking about this more, okay? Because we're all out here fighting for our lives for half the month between luteal and menstruation. So it's a time, okay? It's a time. And we now get 2 weeks of normalcy where I get to be a regular, normal human. So that's lovely. And yeah, I think that is going to be it. This was such a weird video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I kind of had fun with the quirky weirdness, but yeah, I think that is going to be it for today. As always, thanks for sticking around. Happy reading, and I will see you in the next one.